about the effects of these mediators, and these effects of these mediators are nothing but the clinical manifestation. The clinical manifestations are divided into two types. It is local and general signs of inflammations. What do you mean by local signs of inflammations? Listen, if this is the site of injury and it is highly supplied with blood vessels, okay, so at this location only we are going to see the changes, we are going to see certain kind of changes, and that signs are going to come under this local signs of inflammations. So what are the local signs of inflammations that we are going to see in this inflammations? It can be rubor, calor, dallor, tumor and functionalisa. What do you mean by rubor? Rubor means redness. At the site of inflammations, what happens? There will be increasing in the amount of blood vessels, blood cells. What do you mean by that? It will be causing a situations known as hyperemia due to the vasodilatory effect of histamine, serotonin and certain mediators from the newly synthesized mechanisms. So they are going to cause the process of hyperemia, and that will be leading to the rubor or redness. Then we are going to see the calor. Calor means increasing in the temperature. It means this region temperature will be very high, because at this region there will be increasing in the catabolic process, and also it is additionally having the hyperemia condition. Next we are going to see the dallor. Dallor means pain. At this site, as this site is already facing so much of problem, there will be the nociceptors, they will be getting activated. It will be also having the mechanical pressure of the exudates that are coming through the blood vessels, and it will also be causing the pain due to certain kinds of mediators like the interleukins, that they are going to produce the fevers like condition or the sleepy lethargy type of conditions. So due to that reason we are going to feel the pain at the site of the injury. Then we are going to see the tumor. Tumor means swelling. Why this swelling will occur? As this hyperemia condition is occurring and the blood's proteins are going to come out to the site of injury, then the concentration gradient will occur at the site of injury. So more fluid are going to come at the site of injury, so it will be flooded and it will be swelled. Okay, so the tumor or the swelling process is going to be accompanied in the local manifestation. Then when these four things are going to occur and it will persist for a long time, then we are going to see the loss of function or functionalisa, loss of function of this very tissue region. Next we are going to see the general signs. Let's recap the whole thing of inflammations from the beginning. Like when there will be bacterial products like the lipopolysaccharides, its bacterial cell membrane, the immune complexes from the complement system, or the toxins or bacteria, the physical injury or any kind of trauma situation, or any kind of cytokines from the newly synthesized, they are going to affect the cells, that is macrophage and mast cells. They are responsible for the process of initial mediator production. Okay, so when they will be activated, they are going to produce these kinds of mediators, and these mediators are also going to have this general effect or clinical manifestation. So what are these general manifestation? It can be acute phase reaction. Acute phase reactions means at the very moment or at this situation of inflammations, how our body is responding. Our body will respond with high temperature, means the body will be suffering from fever. Our body will feel lethargy conditions that will be increasing in the amount of sleep, and in decreasing with the appetite. We will not be feeling hungry, and that will lead to anorexia condition, and there will be increasing in the acute phase proteins in the blood plasma. And as it's a condition of whole increasing in the process of inflammation, so we are going to get the shock condition, and it will increasing in the erythrocyte sedimentation rate. The fever will be increased due to production of certain interleukins like interleukin 1, interleukin 6, tissue necrotic factor, then gamma interferon. Okay, and then the acute phase proteins. At the moment of inflammations, we can predict that our body is suffering from any kind of inflammations through certain reactive proteins in our blood plasma. What are these acute phase proteins? These are nothing but the C-reactive protein, gamma globulins, ceruloplasmin, ferritin, and etc. Next comes the ESR. Why the erythrocyte sedimentation rate is going to increase at the time of inflammation? Because at the site of injury, what happens, there will be increasing in the process of exudation, and due to the increasing in the vessel permeability and exudation, what happens, the concentration inside the vessels like the blood amount or the red blood cells, it will increase and they will become dense because all the fluids are going outside, and inside it the condensation or concentration of the fluids will be less. Rather, the electrolytes like the erythrocytes will be higher, and that are going to be sedimented. Their velocity is going to decrease, and their motion is going to be decreased, and they are going to increase the erythrocyte sedimentation rate. Next, we are going to see certain changes in the endothelial cell layers or vessel cell layer. What are these? There will be increasing in the leukocyte adherence. At the site of injury, there will be more adhering of the leukocytes. There will be increasing in the prostaglandin synthesis, increasing in the procoagulant. To make the process of coagulation, we need more procoagulant. Then we need to decrease the anticoagulant, so there will be decreasing in the anticoagulant activity. There will be increasing in the interleukin 1, 8 and 6, as we are going to see the condition of fever. Next, the chemokines and oxygen radicals. The chemokines and the oxygen radicals, mostly the chemokines are going to attract more number of leukocytes for the process of defending our body system, and the oxygen radicals are going to produce their chemical reactions against the bacterial products or pathogenic stimuli. Next comes the fibroblast effects. If these whole mediators are going to produce certain kind of fibroblast effects, so what are these? Initially they are destroyed. Now the fibroblast will be renewed. They are going to increase its proliferation amount. There will be increasing in the collagen synthesis. The collagenase enzyme will increase, like protease and prostaglandin E synthesis will also increase. Now comes the leukocytic effects. As these all things are going to happen, so the leukocytic effects also will happen, like there will be increasing in the cytokine secretion, that is interleukin 1 and interleukin 6, and this results in fever condition. Next comes the neutrophilia, the leukocytes neutrophilia. As we know, the primary leukocytes that are going to come at the site of inflammation at the very first moment, that is neutrophils, and there will be increasing in the amount of neutrophils, that is leukocytosis of neutrophils, and that increasing in the amount will be having a shift of leukocytic formula towards the left. So there will be left shift, and which amount will increase? There will be increasing in the amount of juvenile and staph neutrophils. Okay, so this was whole about the mediators of inflammations and the clinical manifestations, like local and general manifestations. These are necessary before knowing the mechanism, actual mechanism of inflammations. So I decided to make you understand before knowing the actual mechanisms. Now in my next video, we are going to read the arachidonic acid metabolism, cytokines and interleukins, and the kinin systems, because these three require special attention. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.